Jacob.
I'm Yuri.
And we're going for a drive.
The all-new 2021 Kia K5
GT-Line all-wheel drive without launch control. That's not bad.
horsepower and torque.
180 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque from a 1.6-liter turbo 4-cylinder.
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like.
So this has the same drivetrain as the Sonata, which we've already reviewed, and that one was front-wheel drive. We mostly drove it on the highway, so I would like to address the fact that this feels better off the line driving around town than it does on the highway, which is the same for the Sonata as well.
Yes, and there is a faster motor that is going to be available for this in the GT,
That's right.
but we don't have that yet.
No, it's going to have around 300 horsepower and around 300 pound-feet of torque, which is quite a bit, but it's only in front-wheel drive form. And this is a pre-production unit, so all of this may not be final, but shout out to Kia for getting us one of these super early.
Yeah, and to be honest, this feels exactly like a production car would, so I wouldn't be surprised if the actual one is like this.
I think we should start with the looks on this one, because that's probably the most obvious thing, because this is no longer called the Optima.
So changing from Optima to K5, apparently it's been called K5 in Korea for a while.
That's right.
They changed the headlights, and boy, did they ever do a great job.
It looks fantastic. They kind of stingerized it.
They called these the Heartbeat DRL, which I kind of get. And just like the Telluride, they now have the best headlight DRLs on a sedan.
I'm so glad they went with amber because it just stands out so well.
I think amber is Kia now.
And if this is the first video of ours that you're watching, consider subscribing.
New videos every Tuesday and Friday. And then the front end has this crazy grille that they call a shark skin grille.
Yes, which is also part of the tiger nose. So there's tiger nose and shark skin in the front.
Yeah, it honestly, as much as marketing be marketing, it all kind of makes sense. I think it looks really cool. It goes underneath the headlights, and the part underneath the headlights doesn't have real grills behind it. And there's some like grills that are covered up below. I feel like if you dremeled it all out, it would look extra, extra good.
Yeah, there's definitely fake grills, but none of it looks bad.
And this isn't a fast car, so it's allowed to have fake grills. And it's also very flat and like aggressive. It looks like a bad guy from a cartoon or something.
Yeah, I could see that. It's definitely pretty aggressive.
It's the most evil looking 180 horsepower car ever.
Pretty much.
And with the front end, if you do get a lower trim, they completely change the bottom of the front bumper and it changes the face. Like this one looks definitely more evil than the lower trim, which Sonata also does. If you get the lower trim, you get those little hooks instead.
Yeah, and they even have the N line as well.
Okay, let's hit up the side.
I like these wheels. We get 18s on the GT line.
Yeah, all Kia wheels are pretty cool. Not my style, but I can see why people like them.
The ones on the actual GT in 19 are definitely better, but this is pretty good for the GT line.
And what would be the Continental recommended tire for the new K5?
The Extreme Contact DWS 06 and the Viking Contact 7 would be the winter recommendation.
Winter's coming up, guys. Book your appointments, get your winter tires on before November, so in case there's a snowfall, you'll be good.
Do not be a road hazard to everyone around you.
Yes, do not cause traffic on the 401. The body lines are okay. They pop sometimes, but it's nothing spectacular on
Yeah,
this.
the overall side profiles is kind of like whatever. They really spent their time on the front and the back.
But from the side, what is cool, we have the chrome line that goes from the roof all the way down and around, kind of to like mirror what the Sonata is doing, where the headlight swoops up and all the way around.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. It's a little weird. I don't really like chrome on this, but it kind of also works.
From the upper back, it looks cool because it kind of ties it all together. But back to that Sonata thing, these are pretty much the same car.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's the Kia version. And even though this does look kind of like a Sportback from the side, it's not like a Stinger, it's just got a regular trunk.
Yeah, so we're not gonna do the box test.
So moving around to the back, it looks really good, starting with the taillights.
Kia always has good DRLs and taillights, and they've made another iconic one that goes all the way across and has little dashes. I don't think anyone's really done that before.
No, it kind of looks like road markings or like racing inspiredness. Like, I'm not really sure what it looks like. Maybe it's part of the heartbeat thing, but like,
yeah,
it looks cool.
That's the part where you flatline.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the part on the edges where the taillight goes down and then up. Like, I think they could have made it better, but overall, having a new design is cool.
It's definitely different, which is also cool. And then we also have some fake exhaust down there, which I absolutely hate. They're the fakiest of the fake. Come on, what is this, Kia?
But the actual GT is going to have double dual round,
which is really cool.
And yeah, this is the GT line, so it's an appearance package. So on this one on the bumper, we get color matched, where if it was not a GT line, or a GT, we get black behind there.
And since this is the GT line, we do have a little black spoiler on the trunk, which looks pretty cool.
So cute. And by the way, the trunk room, there is a lot, and there's a nice button hidden there next to the camera to open it up. But no grocery bag hanger, so I'm very, very disappointed in that.
And you can also walk up to the trunk to open it as well. You just kind of stand there for a couple seconds while it beeps.
Yeah. So overall, looks-wise, is this better than the outgoing Optima?
Way better. This is one of the better looking sedans in the segment now.
I feel like they took a lot from the Cadenza.
Yes, exactly.
And made it look awesome.
Which was the K900 or whatever, so yeah. So now on to some power and handling, starting with some handling through Cliche Corner. And first thing I noticed, yes, there is body roll, but it actually feels really good. So this is the all-wheel drive one. It's a front bias system, but it doesn't feel that front biased, but I mean, it pulls through everything. And I hate to say it, but it kind of gives me more confidence than the Acura TLX. But let's see. Okay, tires are screaming, like absolutely screaming.
All right. I'm not going to say much about it, but I did not hear any tire squealing.
Exactly.
And nothing felt weird.
It doesn't feel like I'm about to fall off anywhere. It's not going to understeer like crazy. It feels really good. The steering is a little overboosted in sport mode, but it does change between the drive modes. But everything else about sport mode is pretty good, so I actually enjoy it. And you can customize that and go into your custom mode and then just drop the steering back to normal.
Okay, in sport mode, do we get pumped in audio? Floor for me.
A little slow to downshift. I think right there a little bit at the top, but
Okay.
It's nothing excessive.
Now try it in normal. If it is pumped in, it's too subtle for me to fully point it out.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not bad. Whatever they did is definitely not over the top like the Edge ST way back when. And for daily driving, the suspension is actually really comfortable at going over bumps and everything. Super comfortable, no complaints. Really good job.
Very normal people car. And now we're cruising in drive. Just floor for me.
A little bit slow.
A little bit slow, but the tack moves a lot quicker to the gear.
Yes. And on downshifts with this, it's actually not bad. So it's not bad. It actually goes relatively quickly.
But we don't have paddles.
No, we don't. But I don't really think you need them because this is that type of car that is totally fine to have this shifter thing, which we'll get to in the interior section.
But I assume the GT is going to have paddles, and the GT, I guess, lines up perfectly with the N line.
Yes, but this is an 8-speed auto and it is all new, but it shifts really smooth when you're just driving along. Like if you're not gonna floor it or anything like that, you're not gonna really care about like the shifting times or anything like that. You're just gonna wanna know the overall smoothness, and it's really good. And one of the coolest parts that we'll talk about with the interior section, but I just wanna address the fact that you can see the all-wheel drive system in the gauge cluster, and you can see the power distribution, but you can also see the wheels turning, which I totally didn't expect. It's
like,
a nice little graphic design thing.
Forward or left and right?
Left and right. See, look.
Oh, effort.
Yeah, it's like something I totally wouldn't expect. I would expect that in like a 4-wheel drive car.
All right, my turn to drive?
Your turn.
Let me just make sure the car is set to user profile Yuri with the palm tree background.
It's already been that.
Yeah, just making sure. Let me put into manual shifting and launch. Good for a slow car, and it automatically upshifts for you.
Yeah, you also didn't manually upshift any of those shifts.
Because I didn't have to.
I
just wanted to put it into thing. So now for a little boot through Cliche with all the aids on.
Give it a big boot, Yuri.
Little boots.
How good does that feel?
It feels totally fine.
It feels like a normal car.
It felt like it killed power a bit there.
Yeah, because your traction's on, because I had everything off.
So it's pretty fine even with traction on. It's not like clunking at you with ABS or anything, but it does kill power on turns.
Yeah, but it's not as bad as like Mercedes even in terms of like pulling back the power.
Yeah, it doesn't have Mercedes power. So
I know.
All right, now for the fun stuff, the infotainment.
Yeah, so we got a big one in this one.
We've got the widescreen, which is only on the higher trims, and with that, you get a volume knob, but you lose the tuning knob and hard buttons. You have these like LCD touch buttons, which totally suck.
Yeah, we didn't like them in the Sonata, and we also don't like them here.
Actually, I hate them.
There you go.
But it does have a very cool look. On your home screen, you'll get your time, temperature, and just like a weird looking map. If we swipe to the right, we've got these cool neon looking icons, which make it a lot harder to figure out what you need because they all kind of blend together, but we have the name there too. And you can customize the home screen, so I only put radio, climate, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto.
And we have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is really nice.
Yes, but Apple CarPlay is proper widescreen. And now with iOS 14, we can actually have our Google Maps show up in that secondary home screen, so you can have your Google Maps with navigation, and your music showing in Apple CarPlay.
Oh, welcome to Android Auto. We've had that forever.
Yeah, but you can't have a full map wide.
Yeah, but you can't either when you have your music on the side.
But I can when it's fully open.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yes.
So I'm in the lead there. And anyways, I got this to work with Jacob W. I added a bunch of pronunciations, a bunch of phonetic sounding stuff, a bunch of telling you how to say it. Hey Siri, call Jacob W.
Calling Jacob W. Home.
Wow. That took a lot of effort, eh?
It did, but now it works. So this does have rewinding on SiriusXM satellite radio, which is expected from a Hyundai.
Yeah, so it works pretty well here, just like it does basically in every other Hyundai Kia.
But you only get 10 channels, which is like how it's always been, which kind of sucks. I want more to rewind.
And there was one weird thing that you showed me.
Okay, when you add your channels now in SiriusXM, you have to click the purple star to favorite it instead of holding it on a favorite where you want it to save.
And then what happens sometimes?
All right, Jacob, you've got channel 44 as a recorded favorite.
Yes, I do.
So what if we add 40? And then what if we add 39? Then what if we add 37? Now 44 is not a recorded favorite.
That's weird, so it pushed it out of the way.
Yeah.
But what if I go here and then, oh, so it's a favorite. So if I unfavorite it, and I favorite it again, it's not a recorded favorite.
So it's just like a really tricky system you have to do to get the correct 10 favorites there.
Weird. And then we also have really cool graphics for all the radio stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like old tubes.
Yeah, but I mean, instead of these tubes, I'd rather have like the actual logo of the station a little bigger. And even though I hate these LCD touch buttons, I've got this star set up to my iPhone projection, and then I've got the radio button that actually goes to radio, so everything is fine. But we also have another mode in here for the radio. If I click it on my steering wheel, I can go to
Sounds of nature. Oh, let's go open air cafe. Haven't heard one of these in a long time. Kind of miss the sound of this. Wow, people? This is what people sound like?
I don't mind the sound of dishes clanking.
Calm sea waves. Yeah, now I need to pee. That's what it's at.
See, that like, the sound of water never makes me need to pee, but I get that that's like a thing.
So moving on to the rest of this interior, I really like all the hard buttons for the climate controls, and this actually has a heated windshield, which is awesome and I totally didn't expect, but with that comes all the lines that you see in the windshield, which is what we complain about in Jaguar Land Rovers that have it.
Yeah, you get used to it pretty quick though.
And then my favorite part of the auto climate is that you actually have 3 fan levels for auto. So if you actually hit auto, you can set it to the maximum fan speed but still stay in auto. And down in our center console, there is a ton of gloss black, which is disgusting, but we have the coolest aircraft inspired shifter.
Yeah. And I mean, when we read that in the press material, we're like, all right, this is stupid.
This is going to be the
worst.
worst.
This actually looks like a throttle from an airplane, thrown it to here. It's pretty funny.
This is the first aircraft-inspired thing from a press release that is actually aircraft-inspired.
Right, so then we also have a wireless charger here that is cooled. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but there's no wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in this particular model, but it is available in the K5, which is nice.
But if you just need a place to put your phone that's not a wireless charger, there's a nice spot up here up front.
And so we have our drive mode selector down here. Yuri, what's the drive modes?
Smart, normal, sport, custom, and snow, and you'll be fine keeping this in normal.
Yeah, or sport. I really like that. And then we also have heated and cooled seats, which is really nice, and a heated steering wheel.
Yeah, same kind of buttons that you'd get out of a Kia Stinger. And cup holders. Do they fit a small T? Fits just fine. How about the visors?
Well, let's find out.
3,
full faith.
2, 1.
Yeah.
But just remember,
Good
this
job.
is a pre-production. The pre-production Veloster N we did have a passenger visor that extended. This may not have a passenger visor that extends.
If you buy one of these, check the visors before you buy it.
Check every visor, always.
Yes. And the worst part of this entire interior is the gloss black on the door panels. It's actually pretty much the door pull, and it's so annoying because you actually have to reach for that all the time, so that's gonna be filthy every single time you drive this car.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like we were in another car recently that didn't use gloss black but was still luxurious. Was it the Audi?
Yeah, something like that. I forget.
Anyways, it's possible.
Exactly. But the rest of this interior also looks really good. We have some faux wood trim, definitely fake, but they admit it, which is good. But it looks really nice.
It's very good, fake looking wood.
And then we have satin metal everywhere. We got leather and we got plastic, but overall, everything that you want to touch is actually pretty high quality.
And for the GT line, we do have a flat bottom steering wheel with GT line at the bottom. And GT line is one step below N-Line, even though they both have line in the name.
Yeah, it's not exactly the same because the N-Line of a Sonata will actually have GT power from a Kia.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but I guess Kia doesn't have their N yet. It's like if Kia's top model was a 43.
Yes.
And Hyundai gets 63s.
Essentially, sort of something like that. Except it's almost like a 53 and a 63.
Okay, enough of that.
Yeah. The seats are really comfortable, really well bolstered for this type of vehicle, but mostly very cushy.
Okay, I got 2 complaints with the seats.
I bet you do.
Our lumbar only goes forward and back, no up and down. And then there's like a pattern right in the very middle where my spine is, and I really don't feel comfortable with that. Like, it totally makes this a deal breaker for me.
Oh, I don't even feel it.
Yeah, I know. It's like different people have different sized bodies and it affects them differently.
Yeah. So sit in one of these before you drive one.
Sit in everything. Wait, sit in it before you drive one.
Well, yeah, you'd have to sit in it before you drove it, wouldn't you?
Do you?
And sitting behind myself at 6'1.5", no problems, super comfortable.
Yes, and the back seats fold down from the trunk, so that's nice. So quickly touching on these gauges, we have an analog tach on the left, analog speedo on the right, and a nice normal Kia screen in the middle with all the information you ever need. And we also have very cool looking numbers in the middle for your speedo.
Yeah, the gradient in the number doesn't change even if you change the themes, because you have A, B, and C themes, which changes your D, P, and whatever is at the top, basically.
And the background.
Yeah.
And I really like this purple background. And the last thing that I really like is the lane keep assist, the radar cruise, and the highway driving assist. Same thing in the Genesis G90 Telluride Palisade that we love, love, love. Just as good as anything Tesla's coming out with.
It's a crazy good system.
Okay, so now let's get to the price.
Not the price yet, because I have some marketing be marketing. They jumped this.
Okay, yeah.
They friggin' jumped 2 of these and then drifted one underneath. Like, what the hell, Kia? That's amazing.
Okay, obviously those aren't production models. They had roll cages.
Yeah, but they're not trying to hide the fact that they're modified. They jumped this.
And they were using foot hydraulic brakes to do that last e-brake turn, but they were all in roll cages, so it's fine.
So even though that's marketing be marketing, shout out to any company that jumps their car in terms of marketing, because jumping your car is way cooler than fake drifting it.
Yeah. Whoever got that approved at the company, that's the real hero. He's like, yeah, we're gonna jump cars, and all right, this sounds like a great idea to sell cars.
Exactly.
Like, obviously not, but I love seeing it.
So now let's get to the price.
Hit me with it.
$35,995.
Canadian.
Which is a pretty good price and in line with its all-wheel drive competition, which would be the Subaru Legacy, the Camry all-wheel drive, and the Nissan Altima all-wheel drive as well.
Hate to say it, but between all of those, pretty sure this wins, even though I hate the seat and I don't like the touch LCD buttons on the infotainment screen.
But you also like the Camry as well. However, you can't get the V6 with all-wheel drive.
Yeah, I like it, but not compared to all the features I get in this.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
But this doesn't have a 360 camera. This one only has a reverse camera, which kind of sucks.
So let us know what you guys think of this car, because I really like it, Yuri really likes it. So let us know in the comments and watch this playlist right here of other sedans like this one.
Headlights of the year. Am I right or am I wrong?
Sonatas.